Good morning, and this is LALATE in a live broadcast. Mornings LALATE is coming up in about 15 minutes from now, so please tune into Mornings LALATE at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a tape recording that will be going over election results, but more importantly, about your stimulus check, your second stimulus check, your third stimulus package, and the economy and what the Wall Street is looking at this morning in regards to your election results. This video is going to go over more about the election results this morning. As of this morning, we do not have a determined winner for the presidential race, and we do not have a determined winner for the Senate race for the majority party. That's where, as we sit now, this recording is being taped at, is live streamed at about 8:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you were with me last night, I went off camera finally at about 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And after a 4.5 hour broadcast, most of the details remained in focus, but several states remained out of play. And those states still remain out of play this morning. Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan remain the key outstanding states that will determine the election. And that is what I'm going to be going over right now. And I'll be going over the Senate race. Thank you for joining me on this special broadcast of election results in America for Wednesday morning, the night after election night. First, in the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives has remained Democratic. So your Speaker of the House will remain Nancy Pelosi. Over in the Senate race is too close to call. It is nearly still a dead heat. It was a dead heat all of last night for both the Republicans and Democrats trying to take the Senate. The projection that the Republicans were going to fall substantially in the Senate did not manifest. So what happened? As of this morning, this is where we are. Republicans have held on to key battleground Senate seats and have remained and have won re-election in South Carolina, Iowa, and Montana. But the states that are still outstanding this morning in the Senate races that could determine whether or not the Senate goes Republican, stays Republican for a seventh year, or becomes Democratic are these states. Alaska. GOP Senator Dan Sullivan is facing newcomer Democrat Al Gross. Outstanding ballots in Arizona. GOP Senator Martha McSally is battling Democrat Mark Kelly. Some predictors had already said McSally had fallen, but Georgia Senator David Perdue is facing Democratic challenger John Ossoff. Georgia special election. The race will go into a runoff between incumbent Republican GOP Kelly Kolofer and Democratic challenger Raphael Warnock. The special election will also include a strange matchup between Doug Collins and Loeffler as well. That runoff, a lot of people asked me last night, what does that mean, a runoff? It means there's going to be another election, and the Georgia election will be in January. Now, ultimately, if we do not have if we have a wide majority by any party, the runoff will be much of a non-determinant as to the balance of power. In Maine, Susan Collins was determined as losing last night, and Sarah Gideon, but some reports are still leaving that outstanding. Michigan, Gary Peters was facing Republican John James. In North Carolina, Tom Tillis was reported having fallen to Democrat Cal Cunningham. But as you said here this morning, the balance of power is still at issue. Let me go into the presidential race. For the states that remain outstanding and at issue are Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan. These are the numbers as of 8:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this morning. In Nevada, it's 49.3 to 48.7 for Biden. In Pennsylvania, it is 54.7 to 43.9 for Trump, with 78% of the votes tallied. Over in Wisconsin, it's 49.4% to 48.8 for Biden, with 87% of the votes tallied. In Arizona, it's 51.8 to 46.8 for Biden with 92% of the votes tallied. In Georgia, it's 50.5 to 48.3 with over 80% of the ballots tallied for Trump. And in Michigan, it's 49.3 to 49.1 for Biden. As you see, the data is dramatically different than last night when I left you. At 10:30 p.m. last night when I left you on the West Coast, Trump was leading in Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and at some points in Nevada. As of this morning, Trump is only leading in Pennsylvania and Georgia. This is making the situation very unclear. Finally, the big issue is contested elections and also runoffs. Contested elections would likely occur if the margin of victory is very narrow. And at the moment, with the margin of victory, perhaps the narrowest we have ever seen, it is anticipated that contested elections could come. Moreover, if you're looking at some of the important ballot measures in California, Uber and Lyft drivers resoundingly are predicted to have won the ballot race that will say that they can be classified as independent contractors. That would effectively nullify a federal court decision that said that they must be classified as employees. This is a big win for Uber and Lyft, whose stocks are trading up currently about 12 to 17% in early morning trading this morning. Over in Florida, Florida passed. I am live, and I'm also alive, as Deborah just asked. In Florida, Florida is currently currently looking to have passed a minimum wage raise, which is $15 an hour. This is incredible, great news. I will give you updates throughout the day. It's about a 6-minute recording so far into this recording. I wanted to give you the important data and the important information as we go into the early morning. Let's also congratulate Madison Cawthorn, who is now the youngest member of Congress, who have won last night at 25 years of age. He has a wonderful story that tells about his path. This is what Bank of America said about Uber's decision last night in the California Proposition 22. We would expect other states to now be less aggressive in trying to pass similar legislation to the California legislation, which would be an important win for Uber and its peers. Basically, you could see other states saying, we're going to do this again for Uber and Lyft to ensure that they are not dragged through the courts. Ultimately, while Uber still faces regulatory challenges in the UK, we believe this eliminates some uncertainty. And what's interesting is that Florida did approve that $15 minimum ballot per hour, and also last night in the state of Florida, Trump took Florida. Trump took Texas. Trump has not yet been determined the winner in Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan, even though he was leading initially, and now he's not leading in some of those key races. Big developments. I encourage you to please stay with me and join me in less than about 15 minutes from now on Mornings LALATE. That's at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is going to have big updates about your stimulus. Please tune in. That's 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a taped recording. It's about 15 minutes from now, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll go back on live stream throughout the day as warranted. Again, there was no early mornings broadcast, so the mornings broadcast in 15 minutes from now will be a big one. Please tune in for that on the channel. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay about life for more.